not stop referring to this slime language. Right. Young Thug, he's just kind of like, I tolerate him. I don't like him, I tolerate him. Yes. He's a great feature artist. Yeah. There's like 100 features on this damn app I had never heard of. T-Shine, Little Keed, Strict and Skepta. This is like a different language. Didn't care a damn about. Champs. Let's play like it again. Yeah. Damn, what a pass. Jeez. Yeah. It's crazy to me that Iggy Dollar is still playing. He's as solid as he is still. I remember when he had hair. When he was playing for Philly when he had hair and he was that nigga. Yeah.
It's definitely more like a thing in the NBA for everybody if you're good enough plays forever.
Yeah, because you kind of can.
Yeah, whereas NFL's like, yeah, years out of the most.
Yeah.
I mean, players that we grew up with as children that just retired in the past couple of years.
Right, like Vince Carter.
Yeah.
I think, like, statistically speaking, he played throughout 3 decades or 4 decades. Yeah, he played for a really long time too. Yeah, that's nuts.
Shaq, another person that we grew up watching.
Yeah, he played for a really long time. Right. I'm gonna turn this down a bit. I would like to be traded to any other team but the New England Patriots.
Big brain predictions. That's what I got.
Take it off, sir.
The Washington football team beat the Steelers. And that person.
EDP.
Yes, but if you lose this game, I firmly believe we do not need to make playoffs. So.
Don't you ever disrespect
Jesus Christ. All right. What is going on, folks, and welcome back to After Further Review. This is episode 33. I am your co-host, Jalen Brown.
I'm your other wonderful co-host, Shaquille Brown.
Yes, he is. Shaq, how has your week been thus far? Almost the weekend here.
Yeah, I mean, been eventful, I guess, to a degree. Living life, experiencing new things, different things.
That is good. That is always good to be experiencing new stuff throughout life.
Yes.
New people, new foods,
Yep.
new games.
Yep.
Sometimes old games, unfortunately.
That's it. Some games age perfectly well, never get old.
So the intro to our show is always this double entendre.
Exactly. Like 10,000 different meanings, so it never is very clear.
Stay woke, guys.
Exactly. Open up your mind.
Jeez. Yeah, we are recording today on a Thursday night. Usually we record the show Wednesday at 9:30 p.m., but today we're doing it Thursday at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you're listening to the show and you want to catch us on the video version, of course you can see the replay on YouTube. As soon as we're done streaming, the replay is up. But if you want to watch us live and interact with our just jam-packed live chat, you can catch us on YouTube every Wednesday night at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can participate in our chat and any other Melheim's Media podcast chat. So if you want to go check out Uncensored Mics, the Tony Black Show, the Bush League podcast, any of the other shows that are on this network, they're all on this channel. So click subscribe and you'll get notified every time we go live. So check it out. Now, to get into, we've got a jam-packed show to get into this week, so we're probably going to hop right into this. Yesterday, the NFL released their schedule for the upcoming season. They released it at about 8 o'clock last night. And, they're dubbing this the biggest season ever because there are now 17 games. So, mathematically, yes, it is the biggest season ever. It's like when Apple releases a new iPhone, like, this is the best one yet. And you're like, well, I would sure hope that it was be better than the last one, yeah.
Yeah, I'm seeing as people are about to spend $1,200 on this one. Hopefully it's the best one, yeah.
Right.
I don't see why you would make a phone that was worse than
Right.
the last one.
We actually decided to go backwards. Nice. I'm glad the NFL got it together and correctly realized that this is a bigger season. And, we're going to kind of run through what we think about some of the primetime games, our team's different schedules, and then kind of like who has the hardest schedule throughout this whole thing. Interestingly enough, the NFL did put out like a little, I guess you'd say documentary. It was like a 20-minute thing on how they make the schedule. I was watching it earlier today. Fascinating, because I've always wondered how, with all the different little like details that they have to cover, like the different, national TV schedules, and you got to deal with NBC, CBS, ESPN, Monday Night Football, Sunday night, Thursday night, the travel, the divisional games, I couldn't imagine how they come up with the schedule. So if you guys have some time, you can go to NFL.com and check out that 20-minute segment that they did, because it is fascinating. They have literally thousands of cloud computers that come up with all these different billions of probabilities, I think it's called. Yeah. Like there's a billion different ways that the schedule can go, and they literally just cycle through these computing processes to figure out all these different scenarios.
Funny thing is, I'm sure they have a crew or a staff whose only job is scheduling.
Yeah, they do.
Can you imagine your only job is like help
make
the NFL schedule
yeah.
for the season?
And they literally will go through and pick out like, all right, today the computer spat out these 5 different ones. Let's look through these and see which one looks best. And they'll take that one, they'll bring it to Roger Goodell, and then he'll kind of go, maybe this, that, and then they go back, and then they run it through again, and then they try and find one that's better than that, and it's like, Jesus. And then as soon as they were done with this one, they literally like finished it just a few days before it was supposed to come out. They're like, all right, time to work on next year.
God bless.
And the really like crazy part is the drafts, they're like on pins and needles, because depending on who gets drafted, let's say the 49ers are slated for no big national TV games, but then they get Trey Lance and they're like, oh shit, now we got to go change, because now everybody wants to see him play.
Yeah,
they got to have some Monday night games. They got to have Sunday night games.
Yeah, these big games.
Right.
Make them a highlight team to watch. So.
Right. And then that you change one team, now you got to change everybody else because it's all so finely tuned.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess luckily though, they didn't really have to change anything this draft because it all went kind of according to
Can
plan.
you imagine? Because look how close the draft is to when they drop the schedule.
Yeah,
Try
it's
to
like
readjust
2
the whole-
weeks.
try to readjust everything you probably spent like a year trying to make into like 2
Oh
days.
man, that would be terrible. Yeah, but and they were explaining throughout that you should do it by hand, like a long time ago. But obviously now it's all digital. But man, that is one hell of a job right there. But anyway, yeah, go check it out for yourself. That's our little segment on how the schedule is made. We're also watching Philly versus Miami right now. Philly is not exactly close, down by about 20 with
It's all
8
right.
minutes
They
left.
got their leader Dwight Howard out there.
Leader of the bench.
Exactly, I don't understand. There's a reason he's out there right now, because they're down by 20 points in the fourth quarter.
Well, anyway, so yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get into this schedule here. So we're gonna start off with some of the prime time games. Thursday night. After looking through this, I didn't see too many notable Thursday night games. The only one that
Jags. Imagine spending time to watch
that's the third Thursday night game on September 30th. Mark your calendars, folks.
Bengals.
Jesus Christ. If you want to go to bed early, that is the night to do it.
Some of y'all listen to rain noise. Some of y'all listen to ocean noise. We listen to Jags and Bengals in the background.
Somebody turns on the TV, they're like,
Just cowboys up to the neck. Just ready.
but yeah, usually Thursday night games are pretty weird.
They got the Bucks versus the Eagles. I mean,
Yeah, that should, depending on how the Eagles are, that could be interesting. Rams,
easy clap.
right, could go either way. Rams at Seahawks, that's always a great divisional
Yeah.
game. The only one I had really circled here was Green Bay at Arizona on October 28th. That should be good. Besides that,
Ravens Dolphins might be.
that's a good point.
Depending on how Dolphins
Right.
do this year at the beginning.
I forget that the Dolphins are solid now.
We're
Yeah.
just so used to them being bad that
Yeah. Pittsburgh at Minnesota on December 9th.
Depending on how we begin the season, I have a lot to say about our season as a whole when we get there.
Pretty interesting. Depending on how San Francisco is, San Francisco at Tennessee on December 23rd. And then the biggest one to me is Cleveland at Green Bay on Christmas.
'Cause Cleveland's really good right now.
Yes.
And depending on how A-Rod is feeling it.
Right.
this
If
one.
he's still there, could be gone. We'll see. But
I mean, if he's gone, it makes it even all that much more interesting. Of a
Yeah,
matchup, too.
right.
So it's like, how do they do against Browns now that A-Rod isn't there? And especially since the Browns are another one that seems to be getting better by the
yes, they are. Man, I've got some interesting takes on Cleveland. Moving along, Sunday Night Football. This is where most of the good ones are at. The first one, this is, even though it's the opener and it's on Thursday, it's still considered a Sunday night game because it's NBC. Dallas here in Tampa to open the season up. What a headliner that
I
is.
feel like you have to go out to go.
Yes.
for this
All
game.
I'm saying, like, we got to go out and see that.
Yes.
You're talking about two very interesting fan bases.
I'm imagining Tampa right now with this being like a home game and just going out and watching this. This is definitely one of those nights that it could be probably record. I say we record
Yeah.
clips of this. And
Yes, without a doubt. 'Cause, man, there's gonna be some obnoxious stuff, and they're gonna be hanging the banner, flying the jets over because it's the Bucks. First game, roll out the celebration. Oh man, Bucks fans will be feeling themselves.
Exactly.
And then you have another fan base that's been feeling itself the past 30 years.
For no reason at all.
It feels like they have some reason to be feeling
Just be
themselves.
flexing.
Dumb. Anyway, that should be very interesting. I have not been looking forward to a season opener like this in a long time. Yeah. Another interesting one, Chiefs at
It
Ravens.
should be good.
Last time they played was Monday night this year, and it was really disappointing because the Ravens didn't show up. But we will see. The big one, though, 2 days before my birthday, October 3rd, Tampa at New England. Tom Brady going back to Foxborough to play Coach Subway back in his old home.
Versus Kim and the.
Oh, man, I am looking forward to that big time. I
Yeah.
cannot wait.
It definitely sounds like it. They're already hyping up this game right now.
Yes.
Yes,
That's the first game out of this entire NFL schedule was Tom Brady going back to New England.
It's like, all right. Just calm down. There's other games going on before this, way before this.
Brady's going to act like, it's just in the old game. He's going to kick the shit out of Bill Belichick.
He's hoping.
He's screaming at him. If we lose one game this year, this is not the game.
There's one game that he can lose
Every other game. I don't
the
give a
rest
fuck.
of the
We go
season.
116. That one is going October 3rd.
Showing out. This is the one time you see Tom Brady running out of the pocket full speed towards the end zone.
Oh, he's gonna be. Oh, he's gonna play out of his mind that game. I already know that's gonna happen.
Yes.
The following week, another banger: Buffalo at Kansas City, the AFC Championship game rematch. That should be great. Hopefully, the Bills show up this time. And then the following week, another banger: Seattle goes to Pittsburgh.
I also have another opinion about this one. Not my favorite.
Oh man, that's gonna be a great one right there.
Oh, okay.
Then we got a couple okay ones. Indy at San Francisco, Dallas at Minnesota, Tennessee at LA, the Rams. That should be good on November 7th. Divisional game, Cleveland at Baltimore on November 28th.
Might be interesting.
Yeah, those two always, at least recently, they've played each other really tough. So those are great games. A lot of divisional games after that. Pretty much from there on out, it's just all divisional games.
Yeah.
And then Monday night. Let's see. The first one is going to be Baltimore at Vegas on September 13th. We'll see.
The Eagles and Cowboys game might be good. Might be really good. Divisional game.
Folks, can we stop putting the Eagles and Cowboys on primetime games? Why do they always do this?
They could be a regular Sunday game. Like,
Yeah. You know how many games we get to, and it's like, why is this a 1 o'clock game and Eagles or Cowboys are at 8:30 tonight? Like, we already know it's going to be a shit show. Why do we need to watch them on prime time when we could be watching a much more compelling match?
they'll have like a Green Bay versus an actual competitive team middle of the day, and then for some reason 8:30 the whole game going on right now. I was watching the Cowboys and Eagles.
I'm pretty sure it was last year when you guys played Tennessee.
Yes,
And then that night it was Eagles Cowboys.
it's like anybody else would have voted to watch Tennessee in the Steelers.
Yeah, because that came down to a last second kick. That was a crazy game.
Yeah.
And then this is like, come on. It's two sorry ass teams. But anyway, they're gonna keep doing that forever because it's those two teams.
Bills and Titans. Maybe.
Yeah, Bills at Tennessee, October 18th. That should be pretty good.
Saints versus Seahawks, maybe.
The Saints, they're slated for a few primetime games, but we'll have to see what the Saints are like because right now it's
Jameis
very
Winston, whatever.
Right. This is a funny one. Giants at Chiefs. You know, a Chiefs fan put that one in there. Monday night, baby, November 1st.
If I'm a Chiefs fan, this one game I want to show up for and guarantee be hyped is this one. Because I know we're going to win. I know we're going to be excited as hell to be playing this game.
Yo.
The Giants.
Man, that is a get right game right there. Bears at Pittsburgh. I'm really hoping Justin Fields is really fun to watch, because if not, Jesus Christ. And then again, the Giants at Tampa, November 22nd. Man, so they're either really bullish on the Giants, or there's some big Kansas City and Tampa fans making these schedules.
Unfortunately, I hate to say this for y'all Giants fan that might be this, but y'all really a buffer team in people's schedule. When y'all need a win desperately, you hope the Giants are somewhere.
Right. I will say this. Last year, this was also a Monday night game. I think it was the other way around. Tampa at New York, and it was actually a close game. New York did not win, of course, but it was close. I'm thinking ESPN is like, well, maybe it'll be good again. We'll just do the same thing, and we'll throw Kansas City in there against the Giants.
I think that's their way of hyping up the Giants.
Yeah,
Is by putting them up against
prime time
teams that people are gonna watch. So I was like, "Here you go, Giants. There's their buffer. You might take you're gonna take the L, but these people watch it."
December 6th, my Patriots play the Bills. Divisional game. That should be great. Should be. Last time we played them on Monday night last year in Buffalo, we got ran through like. Never mind.
Yeah.
Last interesting one here. It looks like Cleveland at Steelers. That is the last Monday night game of the year.
Got another opinion about that one.
Should be a great game, folks. That's a way to go out on a bang for Monday Night Football.
Y'all can't wait to listen to me in my section, because I definitely got a lot to say about my team and their schedule.
Yeah, let's go ahead and get into that. So, you want to do your team first or mine?
Sure,
Okay.
my team since we're right there.
Yeah, let's take a look at Pittsburgh's schedule here. We're gonna run through and predict.
My general idea is, if you don't start off this season hard, like, we really got to jump into it ready, because my predictions the last few games of our season are like hard as hell. So you cannot depend on some last minute victories for the season, because it's not ready.
They're not guaranteed.
They're not guaranteed, because we're playing a lot of like really decent teams come end of our season.
I will say right off the bat, we're going to mention it in a bit here, but I think you guys have the hardest schedule in the NFL.
Yes, ridiculous. I'm looking at first game off the bat, Bills.
Buffalo, right. At Buffalo.
L.
I agree. That's probably an L.
Second week, Vegas, win.
Yep, I give you guys a win. 1-1.
Yeah, Cincinnati, win.
2-1.
2-1. Green Bay, L.
Yeah, that's agony. Yeah.
L, because Rodgers is probably still going to be there, so that's what, 2-2.
2-2, right. Denver
Broncos
comes to you
win.
guys 3-2. Seattle,
Seahawks,
I'm saying 3-3. You guys have a nice bye.
Week 7.
You go to Cleveland.
I say we split. Best case scenario, we split with Cleveland. Worst case scenario, we take both L's to Cleveland. We're not winning both.
But best case you split.
So I think this one we win. So what is that?
Got you.
4-3.
I believe so.
Yeah, 4-3 right now. Bears 5-3.
Should win that. Yeah.
Detroit 6-3.
6-3, right.
Chargers.
I think I have you guys losing them. I didn't put my game by game. I just have your end of the season record.
I think we win against the Chargers 7-3.
All right, and then we have at Cincy. Yeah.
Baltimore.
Then Baltimore
I
comes
say
to you
we lose
guys.
this one, so 8-4. Vikings
And at Minnesota.
9-4.
Fair enough.
Fair enough. Titans 9-5. We gotta lose against the Titans. Kansas City 9-6. We gotta lose against the Titans. This might be the one we lose.
Right.
So 9-7. 9-8.
And there you go. So you have them going 9-8.
9-8.
Okay, I have you guys going 10-7. One game under. I think I have you losing to maybe the Chargers was the only difference in there.
Like the end of our schedule is like really fucking hard. Baltimore, Cleveland,
Yeah,
Kansas
Jesus,
City,
Tennessee.
Tennessee. Mike, if you're not on the up streak by the end of this season, we are completely.
Yeah.
By this time, we are completely screwed over because we didn't give us literally one of the top three probably hardest teams to go against last season.
Yeah.
At the end of our season.
And you're praying that you guys are healthy at this point because a lot of times this is where dudes are dropping like flies.
Ben at his age, hopefully he's not hurt and injured. We're not relying on.
Who knows, right? Right.
And look, at this point, we're just hoping the Ben's and our team is okay. Our rookie running back, which is probably gonna start, is doing okay.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you guys have a really, really tough schedule to say the least.
Yeah. So my thing is, if we should get the playoffs this year. But I feel like we're gonna have to really work for it, and we could start off early.
Yes,
There's no warming up into the schedule.
Right. You guys need to start like you had last year. Maybe not quite that perfect, but
we definitely need to start off hot and make sure that we continue that trend.
Now moving into my Patriots, we start off the season just like we did last year. The Dolphins come to us. I have us winning that one.
Yeah, I winning that one.
At Zach Wilson, I have us winning that one. Play the Saints at home. I have us winning that one. Then Tampa comes to us. We are not winning that one. It's the first L. Go to Houston. We'll win that. Is Deshaun going to be playing? We have no idea. I mean, with all this stuff in the air about him, I'm going to imagine no. So, yeah, I'm going to say we beat the Texans. Cowboys come to us.
Say beat the Cowgirls.
Free L for them.
They have a really good schedule starting off.
Right. Then, of course, the Jets come to us. Another dub. We go to the Chargers. We beat the brakes off of them last year on their home field. So I think I have us losing that game. Cause I just have a feeling that it's just not going to.
Yeah, I have you on winning that game.
I just put my end of the season record, so I don't remember exactly which ones are which. I'll find out, though.
I see I'll win that one.
Yeah.
Y'all beat the Panthers.
Right. Following week, go to Carolina. I have us also beating the Panthers. Cleveland, I think I have us losing to them at home.
I have y'all losing to the Panthers because the Panthers are so hard for me to say nowadays, but the Cleveland is really good, and I just don't. And, yeah.
You have us losing to the Panthers or the Browns?
Browns.
Oh, the Browns. Okay. Yeah. Then we go to Atlanta. Should win that one. That's a Thursday night game.
Y'all should win that one.
That one's on 17 different networks: Fox, NFL Network, Amazon,
Nickelodeon,
Cartoon Network,
Animal Planet.
Stupid.
Why y'all streaming this?
We on Animal Planet for?
You know what? Don't worry about it. It's over here.
That's where they play Jets games.
Yeah.
Exclusively on Animal Planet.
That's the only network streaming it. You wouldn't even have Animal Planet in your package.
Tennessee, I have us losing that one at home. We go to Buffalo. I have us losing that one. Got a nice late bye. Thanks, Raj. Go to Indy. Carson Wentz, you getting clapped up. Buffalo comes to us. I said we win that one. Then Jacksonville comes to us. That's a yes. We're going to eat Trevor Lawrence alive. And Tim Tebow's benched ass by that point.
I keep forgetting it. It gives me an all new reason to watch Jags games. To watch Tim Tebow get ran through on the edge.
Please start him just one game. At least one. Before you cut him, give him one game.
And I would can we have one cameraman dedicated to watching Tebow?
Tebow
Cam, just watching the whole entire game, just get ran through. I just read 300-pound defensive lineman just boom every time. And I don't give a damn what it is. I just want this man just work Tebow all game long. So
right.
And
our last game of the season is at Miami. We're probably gonna lose that one because that's historically how it goes. So I have us losing to Miami, Buffalo once, Tennessee, Cleveland, and I think Tampa. So, yeah, that sounds about right.
I have y'all dropping both games to like Tennessee and people like that. So in Buffalo.
Got you. I was going 12-5. I think you was going 12 or not 12. 10-7.
10-7,
Yeah.
which is still really good for.
It's a hell of a lot better than last year.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And unfortunately, it's hard to say in my division. Cause
Right.
Well, that's gonna play. This is my opinion. I say the Browns get us both games. I mean, I positive me say we just split these games, make it better. But like realistic me saying that we drop both games, especially since our team has barely gotten any better since last season. And I just say we both drop both games to them. We for sure gonna split it with
Baltimore.
Baltimore. We're sure gonna split with Baltimore. But like I see us at best coming second in our division.
Are you at all concerned about Cincinnati?
No, not in this bit.
Okay.
I even go. At times I forget they're in our division. I consider our division a 3-team division.
I mean, fair enough.
I mean, it's. I'm
They
just
gotta
saying that
prove it
Cincinnati
first.
gonna clap us one of these games. All right, Cincinnati gonna clap us one of these games. I'm gonna say that.
Y'all did lose to them last year, one game.
Lost a lot of people that we shouldn't have lost last season. Cincinnati, Washington.
Washington, yeah. Cleveland.
Yes, and we started off in Washington.
Yeah, that was the start of the unraveling.
That's because I talk shit and then and I refuse to apologize for it till this day.
Well, hardest schedules in the NFL. We both have Pittsburgh, right?
Yeah, Pittsburgh is definitely. I feel like, especially towards the end of the schedule, it is usually when teams are scrapping to get those last few wins in. I feel like we're gonna be like,
right. I have like my top 3 hardest schedules for Pittsburgh. I mean, y'all are already in AFC North, so that's
hard in of itself.
right. I mean, that's 6 games if we're not including Cincinnati that are just very difficult right off the top, and then you guys have to go to Buffalo, to Green Bay, host Seattle, host Tennessee, and then go to Kansas City.
Yeah,
that is very, very tough. I mean, that's 5 playoff teams right there. If you include Cleveland and Baltimore, that's 2 more.
yeah. Because the thing is, Cleveland technically was a playoff team last year.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's kind of like we just.
That's a lot. You're playing almost all playoff teams all year long.
Yes, so it's kind of like it's one of those things we're gonna have to perform from day one coming out of the season to the end of the season. Just we gotta perform. We have maybe 2 to 3 weeks of like. I'm not gonna say easy teams because we're still NFL teams, but we got 2 to 3 weeks of casual teams.
I think like you have the Chargers in there. I think
Like,
at one point.
Yeah, Chargers are going and Bengals are in there at some point.
Right.
Heaven forbid, if you drop one of these games to the Bengals, we for sure not making the playoffs.
I don't know. Bengals improved their roster a little bit.
I swear to God, if my team drops one game to the Bengals, I'm done.
All right, they did make your easier. Like you have Detroit is in there, Chicago's in there.
Yeah, but the thing is, we have to win all these.
Yeah,
games.
like you can't lose to
games.
Chicago.
You can't lose to Detroit.
Right. God forbid Justin Fields comes out and he's a god.
Yeah.
Chicago could be a problem.
And they
but-
beat us up, messes up the whole game plan. Now we gotta win games that we
Right.
are hard. And
Right.
then forbid like Cincinnati, a team, you can't lose an easy divisional game.
Yeah, you gotta pick
That,
those.
oh
up.
man, that screws it. Heaven forbid we drop 2 to the Browns and then we lose 1 game to Cincinnati. That's just
It puts you in a hard spot.
then we gotta win out a bunch of these games that
Right.
we should have afforded to lose.
Right.
And I'm gonna be upset the rest of the season. We go from getting bumped out of wild card to the Browns to the next season getting screwed out of it altogether because we dropped the game to an easy team.
Right.
So it's like
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like the only easy teams you guys have, Detroit, you could say Cincinnati. I guess you could say Chicago. Besides that,
it's hard teams. Green
Denver.
Bay, Seattle,
right? Even like
Buffalo.
Vegas is not an easy team. They're
middle,
good.
the middle of the pack team, where,
right.
depending on what day you catch them.
Yeah,
pretty
they
much
give
work
you
it.
run for your money.
Yeah.
Like Minnesota's in here too. LA's good.
So it's like we definitely got where or easy teams are still games that we got to go out there and perform because they can definitely for sure.
Yeah.
We're 1 pick away from being
right. My second hardest schedule is actually Green Bay. They have a pretty tough schedule as well. I know their division is not too bad. Obviously, they got Detroit, Minnesota, and Chirac, so there's that. But throughout their schedule, they also have Pittsburgh, at Arizona, at Kansas City. They host Seattle, they host Baltimore, and they host Cleveland. Those are some tough games to get through.
Oh yeah.
So I think, to me, Green Bay has the second most difficult schedule.
Heaven forbid A-Rod is not there
Don't
at a certain point.
get clapped up.
This season is done.
You can forget. I mean, Jesus, that's the worst year to have this difficult of a schedule.
Yes, this is when your like franchise quarterback is considering not being there anymore.
Right. You're like, please, we're sorry. We'll
pay you any sort of money to be here.
Who do you want us to go get? We'll get anybody. Promise.
It's like we want to drop a heavy penny on them.
And then my third most difficult season or schedule, the Browns. They also have a pretty tough one. Also in the AFC North, so that, right off the bat, that's 3 pretty tough games, or 6 pretty tough games. And then they also have to go at Kansas City. They host Arizona. They have to go to New England and have to go to Green Bay. So, the Browns are also, to me, the third most tough schedule in there. So we will see. I am very interested to see once we get a bit closer, because we're not going to predict any outcomes of these games yet. We still have a long time before the snap is even made. So, there's no point in us sitting here and trying to predict. Besides our own teams, the rest of these teams, like, it just makes no sense. So that'll do it for the schedules. Leave a comment below if you're watching this after the fact, who your team is, what you think about your schedule, and who you also think has the toughest schedule ahead of time. It's funny how these go, though, because we could be saying this all right now, and then come like October, November, you're like, like you look at the rest of the season, you're like, oh man, you're like completely different, because now you see how teams are actually playing.
Yeah, you can tell teams are like, this is the off season, and they're like, yeah, this is perfect time for us to be in the condition that we're at.
Yeah.
Or some teams that are feeling themselves this season.
Right.
Like, think of a time where that one season Jacksonville popped off like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And like Jacksonville was like playoff contender team, and like that could be that could be this season.
Yeah,
So-
for all you know, yeah.
So that easy dub that we were all calculating against Jacksonville could very
Right.
much.
Now everybody's like, oh, Jacksonville.
Yes. And it's like, this is a very much needed win, and look at us now. scrapping.
Yeah. Right. And that's how it goes with this stuff.
Yeah, I can be saying all this shit about Cincinnati, and Cincinnati decides this is a season they want to show out.
Right.
But this is a season we needed to be bad out of all seasons.
So we're going to move right along to a new little segment on the show. This is our small business showcase. This week, we are going to be showcasing Kit Fox Art on Instagram. So if you guys want to check out this is hanging up to the right of my computer screen right now. This is from @KitFoxArt on Instagram. She is a illustrator artist that you can buy prints from. I'm not sure about originals, but my wife got me this print from her and a couple others that are around the house. If you want to check out her Instagram, there it is on the screen. It sounds exactly like I just said, people. Just use your fucking ears. Kit Fox Art on Instagram. You can see some of the other stuff that she does, like the kind of style that she draws in. She's got her Etsy inside of her bio and her website as well, so you can go shop on there, pick something out that you like, and you can put it inside of your office, your car, maybe your kitchen, your bathroom, wherever. You probably have a hard time putting it inside your car, but depending on what kind of car you have, it might be easy. My nose is itching on the right side so bad. I'm trying to scratch without looking like I'm inside of my nose, but anyway, folks.
A very relatable show, I feel like. We got real people problems. We got a lot of things going on. So
These are the pains that we deal with, folks.
exactly, very relatable. We're not perfect. We're far from it,
Yes.
but we like to. Your problems are our problems too.
Right. Just realized that on the intro or countdown included, my mic was not muted, so the whole time.
It concerns me because I was very unsure of what I was talking about.
I don't think you're talking anything. Sometimes y'all should hear us on the break.
That's what I'm saying. That's what concerns me. I was like, what was I talking about?
Anyway, on that note, at Kid Fox Art, check her out on Instagram. At the very least, follow people. Jesus, it doesn't cost you a damn dime,
Exactly.
cheap
Nothing but a
bastards.
couple- Instagram is literally made like, I want to say stupid proof, but stupid proof. It takes you no effort whatsoever. As a matter of fact, I'm about to follow this on a break too myself.
All right, that's a good idea. Yeah, so moving on to our next topic before we do take a break. That is the play-in tournament predictions for the NBA. So last season, the first year that they implemented this with the bubble, I did not understand how the hell this thing works. I felt like I needed a degree in computer engineering, rocket science, and brain surgery in order to figure this one out. But this little graphic here highlights from a really compelling Orlando versus Atlanta game. Jesus. Anyway, this lays it out pretty clearly for you so you can see how it works. At least I think it's pretty clearly. So the way the play-in tournament works, for those who are not aware, the 7 seed and the 8 seed will play each other, while the 9th seed and the 10th seed will also play each other. For the 7 and 8, whoever wins that game immediately becomes the 7 seed in the playoffs. They're good to go. The loser then goes and plays the winner of the 9th and 10th seed game. And then the winner of that is the 8th seed in the playoffs. All of these are just one game. There's no series. It's winner takes all. So, yeah, I think this happens starting next week, May 18th, I think it is. Yeah, so for those who are still not aware, yeah, it says the date right there, May 18th to the 21st. Yeah, for those who are not aware, still, that's how it works, because it is kind of confusing. Anyway, yeah, so we're going to predict East and West what the play-in tournament is going to, or who the play-in tournament is going to feature. So we'll start with the East. I think it'll stay, I'm pretty sure this is how it is right now, which is my Boston Celtics in the 7 seed, Charlotte at the 8, Washington at the 9, and then Indiana at the 10. Unfortunately, my Celtics, Jaylen Brown is out for the rest of the year because he tore something in his wrist. You just forget about it. We're toast. It's over. There's nothing happening from the Boston Celtics. We already were on thin ice before that. Now our second best player is gone. We're probably going to play Charlotte, lose to them, and then we're probably going to play, I'm thinking Washington. Washington's going to beat Indiana. Then we're going to play Washington for the final elimination game, and we're going to lose to Washington. And the 7th seed will be the Hornets. The 8th seed will be the Wizards. That's what I've got in the East. Shaq, what are your play-in East predictions?
Remotely very close. I wanted your Boston to make it on through
Yep.
to the next one, but injury prone gets them. I predict just about the same to you with where everything falls. Those two teams have proven that they definitely gonna wiggle their way on through into the playoffs, so that's how exactly it's gonna play out. But if I say a full healthy team on your end would definitely make it through.
Even that is kind of sus. we have been just god awful.
God bless the Lakers.
Yes, which brings us right to the Western Conference predictions. Yeah, so right now, 7 seed is the Lakers, 8 seed is the Warriors, 9 Grizzlies, 10 the Spurs. There's a pretty big gap in between like LA and the Warriors. It's a 3-game gap, and then the Warriors and Grizzlies are within half of a game. And then there's a pretty big gap between San Antonio and Memphis. Yeah, I'm thinking the Lakers will make the playoffs. I think they will finish they'll go through the play-in tournament and end up being they'll maintain that 7 seed. LeBron still has not played, even though he's like good to go. He's still, I guess, taking the time to rest that ankle up. He's probably saving it all up to go play in a play-in game because he's like, let me just play in the one game where we have to win. So, yeah. Yeah, and then I think the 8th seed is going to be Golden State. I think it'll finish just as it is. Memphis and San Antonio, I'm sorry, I just don't. In a one game to decide who makes the playoffs, I can't see the Warriors giving up.
They're gonna show out and put. Doesn't matter what's going on with the team, everyone's going out.
Yeah.
So I predict the same thing. Lakers for sure gonna clinch it, and I said, whatever just happened there. For Golden State, I'm for sure seeing Steph just balling out another high-scoring game. He's gonna make sure his team gets through. What happens after that for Golden State? Probably.
Right, that'll be the only game they win.
Exactly. But other than that, they can make sure they claim their spot in playoffs and then get bounced out right after that.
Yeah.
No. I think the still funniest thing about that is that Rockets 16-54.
What the hell?
These niggas can even win 20 games for the season.
16-54. You won a whole NFL season.
Exactly. I mean, in theory, if you guys were an NFL team, you guys would be damn near undefeated. You can't even say all that because they added an extra game to the season.
So, yeah, you got that going for you guys.
You guys technically only lost one game from regular NFL season. It's really good.
Perspective.
Also, I want perspective how you look at things.
You
guys lose literally one player. Can't win.
That is such a man. Houston used to be so good. Like they really had their heyday for a few years. Where they were a quarter away from going to the finals that a few years ago, and just damn, you see them now. It's like, what happened, man?
Exactly, too. A 16-54 team. They're on a 7-game losing streak right now. What a soaking, folks.
Terrible.
Horrible team.
Oh man, they're screaming Cancun and draft lottery. That's the only motivation going on in that locker room right now. That's really unfortunate.
Like, as a coach, what do you tell your players that are 16-54? At what point of the season do you stop preaching you can do better to your players? Because clearly y'all can't.
Even Detroit was able to hit the 20-win mark.
It's like 20-win mark is like whatever. It's an off season. 17 wins for the season. Your team ain't going out there and trying.
Yeah, that is pretty bad. Anyway, yeah, so we basically both have the East and the West shaking out as they should, except the Celtics will not be in the playoffs. They will get played out.
I am just happy my wonderful Miami Heat was smart enough to realize, wait, we're a good team. Let's play like it. And actually run out there and play. I was trying to see what's the bottom of their division look like for even the bottom of this division.
Yeah,
can these get 20 wins for this
right?
Season. Now the Magic out of all teams, the Magic hasn't been good since Hedo
Turkoglu, Dwight Howard,
exactly.
Jameer Nelson.
And even then, that was a very questionable time for them. Mm-hmm. It was like, are they really good, or are we just like, what was their peak of the Magic? Like,
I mean, at their best, it would have to be Shaq Penny.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like, and the team was created around that time.
Yeah, exactly.
That's unfortunate. It's like Shaq and Penny, the best times. Like, y'all realize they created the Magic like the year Shaq went into the.
Right, yeah. So
your best years were your birth years for that team. After that, it was a straight up decline. Shaq was smart enough to decide,
I'm going to get the hell up out of here. Let me get as far away as I possibly can.
Plans to the Lakers I go. LeBron.
Yep.
Dwight. AD.
Yep. Well, yeah. We will see. I think by the time that the play-in tournament is over, I think we'll have an episode by then. Yeah, because it's the 20th. It's next week, so I'm not sure exactly how they're doing the games. Like 2 a day, probably 2 a day. That would make the most sense. But yeah, we'll see what happens with that, and then the playoffs actually start. I think the following day or that weekend. So yeah, next week's episode will be interesting because we'll have some playoff predictions for the first round and go from there.
Gotcha. Depending on who you play at, might be a one and done heat thing. Or
I don't think y'all be one and done. Not right now. You've got it together now. So
hopefully it maintains that way.
We are going to take a break, kick it to halftime, and then we'll be back on the other side with some Instagram poll results and the news for the week, MVP predictions, and our ride or die in 5 to close it out. So we will be back. If you were starting a team right now, would you pick him as your starting point guard?
Yes.
Oh, I'm still taking Steph. I'm sorry.
No.
You think Russell Westbrook is a better
Yes.
point
Yes.
guard?
An all around better point guard.
How many rings does Russell Westbrook have?
How many rings does Steph have?
3.
I'm still taking.
Kevin Durant left this man because he said, "I can't win with you. I gotta go join somebody who can."
And then he left Steph again.
Well, I mean, it's Kevin Durant.
Yes.
But at the same time, since he's left, what has Russell Westbrook done?
You make a powerhouse team around Steph Curry. That man had help.
Before that, he had him. It was him, Draymond, and Clay.
Which is still a lot more than Westbrook had.
He had Kevin Durant, James Harden, Serge Ibaka.
You try to play with James Harden.
If a game is on the line, the last person on my list is Russell Westbrook because that shit is hard off the glass every single time. What are you saying right now, Ryan Brown? Is a beast. Yeah, he is a beast. That doesn't mean he's better than Steph Curry.
Yeah.
Some do say that they think the coaching is the problem with that team, but I mean, maybe if you give him a great coach, maybe they'll hop up to like the 8th seed at best. You know, maybe they'll jump up 2 places or so, but nothing crazy.
Can't coach non-talent.
That's also true, man.
This is of a Disney movie where the Air Bud comes and saves them from.
They do have a very interesting roster. I will say that.
Not just people like to talk. Mike Tomlin is probably the best thing to happen. One of the best things that happened to that team when it comes to coaching. Which other coach would you know would have tolerated all that? Think about it. Picture coaching Antonio Brown for more than one season at a time, and then picture coaching Juju on the same exact. My thing is like no other coach would have tolerated. You know, damn well this man is cussing them out in the locker room every game.
Screaming at him.
Using all types of language, just screaming at him in the locker room to act right. You know this man do nightly call-ins. You home? All right, you got a game tomorrow.
He's a high school coach. He's got to call him the night before. Hey, remember, we got to be at the airport. All right, 9 a.m.
Is that club music in the background?
Alex Rodriguez and Mark Lore, 2 of them are in the process of buying the Timberwolves. Anthony Edwards was asked about what he thinks about A-Rod now owning the team, and apparently he did not know who Alex Rodriguez even was. Very strange coming from him, who apparently played baseball for a big chunk of his life, and he's trying to convince people that he doesn't know. Okay, like really? Not really.
Go playing games.
Jesus.
Got low-key got this man. We don't shut up and
I don't see your name on this checkbook.
What payroll?
Apparently they'll take full control come 2023, and they will also own the WNBA counterpart, the Minnesota Lynx, as well.
I feel like this Browns team has a different vibe, a more successful vibe than what you've seen in the past from them.
Nah, I think they're still the same Browns team out there every year. I think they're nameless, great faces. The Browns is the Browns. I'm just happy we're playing them again, this Sunday. I'm just happy we're playing them again, The Browns is the Browns. I'm just happy we're playing them again, this Sunday. The Browns is the Browns.
Get him out of here, John! The Browns don't beat the Browns! The Browns don't beat the Browns!
And I'ma need that $40 even if I gotta fuck, suck, and swallow. Hit the parking lot 'cause I was
White 1K in this bitch. You know what I'm saying?
So if you get 4 questions right, you get a free beer.
Oh shit.
And then if you get all the questions right, you get a shot.
How many questions are there?
Perfect.
There's
8. All right, let's do this, boys.
Alright.
Gotta be 50%, man. Let's do this, boys.
I don't know shit about the Bucks.
Do we
so
have
y'all got
any-
it.
Ask
Alright,
me
here
if
we
you care.
Ask me if I care.
Bucks trivia. Stats, some players.
Oh, I don't know.
Yes,
I'm
you
not
do.
good at this stuff.
Who's the starting quarterback prior to Tom Brady?
Jameis Winston.
Oh, Jameis Winston.
Oh, come on.
Jameis Winston.
Jameis Winston.
Jameis Winston.
What?
And we are back, folks. Hope you enjoyed your break. Used the bathroom, grabbed a new drink, new snack, knew whatever you were doing before. Yeah, hope you guys had a good break, because we sure did. Coming back with better music. Folks, we've got about an hour and a half, allegedly, until a new album drops from J. Cole. Looking forward to it. As if it does drop at midnight, because it'd be really unfortunate if it doesn't. I know those J. Cole stans are looking at that clock and just
No sleep.
yeah,
Up all night. Up all night.
watch it be like, it ain't dropping until noon on Friday.
Yeah. And a lot of those guys don't wake up by noon anyway.
They ain't going to bed until about 9 a.m. either.
9 a.m. Wake up at 4.
4 p.m. the next day. We know somebody like that, but we will keep
I'm
that.
up early. It's 4 p.m.
Hey, I'm up for dinner. I'm up early.
Okay. 4 p.m. I'm looking forward to going to bed again.
All right, let me get that. I've had the same banner on the screen for a long time. Folks, these banners are really hard to keep up with, believe it or not. There's about 17 different ones on the screen, so it's hard to scroll through them. Anyway, Instagram poll results from this past week. So last week, one of the topics of discussion was Westbrook versus Curry. Shaq obviously vouching for Westbrook. I'm vouching for Curry. So we posed the question on Instagram, who's the better point guard? And it was split down the middle. 50% of y'all said Russ, 50% said Steph. Granted, only a few of y'all voted, a handful, so say that, it is what it is. But regardless, it was split down the middle at 50-50. So we're in the same spot that we were before the poll. and here we are. So anyway,
I think
Y'all
it
be the
does not
judge.
change.
Hey, mine does not either.
Westbrook, always, forever.
It's just a damn shame. Damn.
I appreciate the man. The man puts up numbers. The man
He sure does.
performs.
In one category, does not put up numbers, and it's still a big goose egg. Anyway,
Look what Curry is now, fighting for a playoff spot.
I
by
mean,
himself.
yes, Russell Westbrook doing the same exact thing. They're in very similar positions right now, except one's got a whole lot more hardware at home. Yeah, like I mentioned earlier, Jaylen Brown tears a ligament in his left wrist. He's out for the rest of the year. God bless him. Jacksonville seems to be signing Tim Tebow. The locker room was reported not thrilled to have him. No surprise there. I don't think all of America is thrilled to have him. So, yeah, Tim Tebow, interesting. Only right, we mentioned THT from the Lakers last week when he had that circus shot and then followed it up by the grace of God and hitting that layup to win the game against Denver. Only right that we mentioned he hit the game winner in overtime against the Knicks on Tuesday night to seal the deal in overtime. So THT getting the job done again. Mind you, he hit that game winner after having 7 turnovers in the game. So
minor details.
He's becoming one of my favorite players in the NBA.
Perform where it matters. It's not about how you start, it's about how you finish.
He's a walking embodiment of that. In other news, Blake Bortles. I know you haven't heard that name in quite a bit. Blake Bortles signs a 1-year deal with the Green Bay Packers. I swear a chimpanzee runs the Green Bay Packers, but I can't prove it. Yeah, I thought Jordan Love. I thought they had the answer with old J Love, but apparently
Bortles,
they needed such a security blanket. They went out and got old Blake. What the hell? What is going on? That is a huge head scratcher. Like, Jordan Love, is he that bad? Is he paralyzed? It's not a good sign. That is a really bad sign if you are a Packers fan, because that just shows Aaron Rodgers, please don't leave. Please don't leave.
Yeah, back up to your backup.
Anyway, so the NFL schedule came out last night, and a few of the teams had like scheduled release videos. Like, they made kind of memes and different, like, the production value was kind of all over the place, but a lot of the teams put out cool videos saying like, hey, our schedule's out. The Cowboys, they like to do everything over the top. They made an extremely highly produced video featuring Jerry Jones and Post Malone, who I believe is from Dallas. Yeah, so he's a big Cowboy fan. It was actually pretty entertaining. If you guys have a few minutes, you should check out their schedule release video, but features Post Malone as the postman delivering the schedule to Jerry Jones in his office, and then icing out Jerry Jones and playing beer pong with him. So just typical Cowboys video where it's just highly over the top and ridiculous. But
right, for what? We're not quite sure why.
Right. Spent all this time telling this fucking schedule's out.
Just for them to lose
90% of those games
Exactly.
anyway.
Schedule's out cool. We could lose most of them anyway. So
Yeah, I know Cowboys fans, when they first saw that schedule, saw Tampa was the first game. I know they're like, all right, see the schedule. Is this our schedule? You got it? You sure this is ours? It's preseason, right? Week 1, technically preseason.
Yeah. No, week 1 regular season. Good try though. Yeah, just fat over cool.
Start of the season. All right, quick L moving right along.
L. Not on yellow letters.
You know there's other ones out there, right?
T at the top.
Shannon Sharp on Dispute today was like, Skip, I've got the Cowboys winning. I got good news and bad news. I got them winning 14 games. That's over the course of the next 2 years, though.
Positive. There are wins in there.
In other news, DK Metcalf runs a 10-3 100-yard dash in an official U.S. track meet. Mind you, he's 6'4", 235 pounds.
Big as can be.
Unbelievable. Man went out and competed with the best
that's
of
the man
them.
that talks to your girl when you're there, and you just let it happen for the sake.
for your own life, her life, everybody's life.
He's just sitting back and just looking, just
can't outrun him.
Exactly, can't run from him. You hit him one time and try to run him, man, he can run you down and kill you. So
just run you right over.
Definitely ain't out muscling, out fighting him. So.
No, that's definitely not happening.
So it's like it's not to happen.
Probably just pick you up, and snap you in half.
He's like, too. You can fight the case, so
fight the case.
Now look at you, dead, and he has a girl still.
Lose.
Exactly. Just let it happen. This is gay with your life.
Last but not least, Russell Westbrook, speaking of the devil, surpasses Oscar Robertson for the all-time most career triple-doubles. He showed him up at 182 career triple-doubles. He now holds the record for most ever. Crazy stat. I will give Westbrook his flowers.
Russ.
Props to him, and that is a crazy title to hold. If you can guess who are the top five, like who has the most triple doubles behind him, obviously Oscar Robertson is right behind him at 181. But can you guess 3, 4, and 5 who has the most career triple doubles?
It's a weird stat. I feel like to memorize who has them. Can we just go with greats? Can we say Shaq? I mean, not Shaq, but can we say like Jordan as top 5?
Jordan is not one of them. Not known for too many assists.
I mean, I feel like for a man that played,
I'll give you a couple hints. 2 of them are point guards. 1 is not.
Couldn't give you anybody that would put. Either of them currently playing. I assume probably not all.
1 is currently playing, 2 of them are not. The same person that is currently playing is also not a point guard, if that gives you any.
Is Rondo one of them? I feel like Rondo could be a.
Surprise? No, he's not.
I feel like he could be a man, especially known for assists, that he probably could do some decent scoring, and you would find a way to find a triple-double in there.
So number 3 is Magic. He has 138. Number 4 is Jason Kidd, 107. And then number 5 is LeBron at 99. The only non-point guard on that little list.
There's still so much of a big separation between LeBron at 99 and...
Yeah, that is. I mean, it's a huge separation. It's between Magic at 138 and then Russ and Oscar Robertson at 180 something. Like Russ is gonna have probably over 200 when all is said and done.
Yeah,
like that's crazy.
And it's gonna be forever until that probably is even touched as a record.
Exactly.
So
props
Robbie though fell on the other side of the 50% mark. I need you to go ahead and transition back over to this 50% mark and appreciate Russ as well.
We will have to just agree to disagree on that one. Moving along, MVP predictions for the NBA. So we touched on this earlier on the halfway point of the season. At the time, I was convinced Joel Embiid, LeBron was right behind him. Damian Lillard was kind of in the conversation. I can't remember who else was, but that was like kind of like the top 3 at the time around the All-Star break. But since then, Bron got hurt, and he's seemingly been hurt ever since. Joel Embiid got hurt. He missed a pretty big chunk of time. But to me, the guy that has come out of the not Woodward because he's always been up there, but the Joker, Nikola Jokic he's just been outstanding. Like for a while, it was him and Embiid that were very similar stats, almost identical. But then Embiid went down due to injury. Jokic has played just about every single game this year. The best ability is availability, and he's just maintained that crazy high stat line throughout all year, which is 26.5 points a game, almost damn near 11 rebounds a game, and 8.5 assists a game. He's led his team to a 45-24 record. And then number 4 seed, possibly number 3 seed, because they're only a game behind the Clippers last time I checked. So, yeah, they could finish number 3. And they lost their second best player. Murray went down, and I thought that was going to be it for the Nuggets, but they've just been seemingly just fine without him. Since he's gone out, actually, they've been 11-4. So, yeah, big props to Nikola Jokic. It sounds like he'll probably end up winning it. Yeah, so to me, I've got no problem with him being the MVP.
Like I said, I see him winning it just currently because there's no competition left that's fully healthy and playing right now. But who I really wanted to win it after my mind has changed from who I thought it was earlier. I really wanted Joel Embiid to win this MVP and get it because I feel like he had a really...
Yeah, he had a minute there.
I still think he's averaging higher than.
Yeah, I think he maybe by points he might be averaging like a couple more points than Joker is.
I want Joel Embiid. I feel like if he would be healthy, he would definitely be that number 1 slot maybe for MVP. But I see Joker winning it as MVP purely because of availability and he's healthy for the rest of the season.
Yeah.
Anybody else left to compete?
They've gone down. There was like Bron, like I said, Bron was in there. People are making the case for CP3, Dame. There was a hot minute where people were saying Steph. There was a hot minute where people were saying Julius Randle when the Knicks were on a winning streak. There's been a hot minute for just about everybody seemingly.
Everybody's name got thrown in the pot for a good sake, but no.
But that's how the NBA goes at times. I just think it's going to be cool that a big man is going to be winning, like a true center is going to be winning the MVP for the first time in a long time.
It's been a while since we've had like a true original big man play style to a degree.
Yeah.
Win like an MVP. Like think of the last time we've had like a true big man win this.
Yeah, I'm going to Google this real quick. Who was the last center to win an MVP? It might be Shaq.
That's what I'm saying. That's like a while ago. Think of that's like probably prime Shaq, maybe.
That's the only person I could possibly think of. Last center to win MVP. Let's. Oh, Tim Duncan, you could say, but I don't consider Tim Duncan a center. He was a power forward.
He was one of those that power forward who alternated probably between center and that.
Yeah, so a true center hasn't won it since Shaq in 2000. Wow, so it's been 21 years.
21 years since a true center has won an MVP.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so it's like
props to him.
Props to this man for really sticking to it and really proving the point that. Because I think it's to the point that we're just so used to seeing people playing from the 3-point line mid-range game that they find it hard to even guard or outplay the man in the paint because they're just not used to playing.
Exactly. Like that is a big problem. Yeah. And both Embiid and Jokic, that's the great thing. Like they can play on the outside. Like they've perfected their game so well that they can take a 3 and knock that shit down. But at the same time, they're gonna pick you apart down low. Like that's where they make their money at.
And they're so strong. It's like they just don't have the competition in the paint. Right. Maybe a handful of other people that can maybe guard them in the middle of paint.
Right.
But like for the most part, I don't see KD out-muscling in the middle of the paint. Yeah, he might have like a 3-point mid-range game, but like he backs him down in the paint, and it's just.
In the words of Drake, there's a big gap between them in the race. Like there's Embiid and Jokic, and then you can kind of like Rudy Gobert can hang with them. Nurkic and Portland can hang with them. Outside of that, though, there's really not any other dominant centers. And I wouldn't consider Gobert or Nurkic dominant. Like, they are the only real dominant guys. But, yeah, everybody else either can't shoot like that or they just can't do anything in the paint. So.
Yeah, once you get into that low post, there's very few people that can really compete in that low post game.
Right, as versatile as they are. So, yeah, I guess it's still not settled yet, but it seems like it'll probably be Jokic. So, props to him because that's a big one right there. That's a couple years now where Giannis, he's European, he's Greek. Jokic, I think he's like Serbian or something like that, maybe Croatian.
Like a forward.
Yeah, so the Europeans showing out, folks.
Let y'all know that they can ball over there.
Right. Before we get to our last segment, which is a Ride or Die in 5, I want to mention that if you are watching the show, you can check out the audio version. Just click the first link down in the description below. It'll take you to Anchor. And from there, you can listen to the show on Spotify, Apple Music, Keep It Real. It's probably the only 2 places you guys are listening at. And right from there, you can kiss your battery woes goodbye because now the screen will not always have to be on as you listen to the show. So there you go.
You have very soothing voices.
Right.
Y'all listen really well.
You can fall asleep listening to the show. You know, it's all good. However you wanna, right there.
As long as you like and subscribe, you do it as material as you want.
Right. Random note: one of the streamers that I watch who plays Warzone was playing with Devin Booker the other day. They just showed him on the camera, so I just thought of that. He's actually extremely good at Call of Duty, which is. Like, how are you one of the best basketball players in the world and a god at Call of Duty?
Yeah, which is a weird aspect to me. Like, you finding time to sit there
right,
and master the skill. I know people who have nothing but free time. And
that's a good point.
Exactly. It couldn't buy one.
While he was on the stream, he was talking about how I guess the Suns had just got back off of a road trip where they went to Cleveland, I think Detroit, Cleveland, and then Atlanta, and he was like complaining on going to Detroit and Cleveland. I'm like, I figured that the players are not too happy when they have to go to those cities, and that was just further proof that.
Yes. Like, what is out there to do? What is going on? You probably not leaving the hotel, then they go to the stadium to go play the game.
Right.
It's like it's not like going to Miami or like
LA or something like that. New York. Oh man, just Cleveland. Jesus.
Probably uncomfortable as hell to be there.
Right.
They have you like strapped up in a Humvee to go to the
military Humvee.
to go to the game.
Yeah. Anyway. Moving right along to the last topic of the night here, our Ride or Die in 5. This is where we run through some of the most anticipated games of the next few days. So our regular season records are, I'm at 54-34. Shaq is 3 games behind at 51-37. I'm thinking that once the regular season is done and the playoffs start, we'll probably just wipe this clean and start new for the postseason. So Shaq, looks like you're going to start throwing some Hail Marys here to cover those last three game difference. So we're going to start off with Portland at Utah. I wrote this yesterday, so this game has already been played, so we're just going to go ahead and just scrap that one. Anyway, the next one has already been played as well. It's going to say Philly at Miami. That's already been done.
I call man.
So there's only 2 left here, or we'll pick a third one since there's a 3-game difference. But Toronto at Dallas tomorrow night at 9 o'clock. Shaq, who have you got?
I'm gonna say Toronto is gonna win this
game.
Oh,
Shaq is throwing a Hail Mary on that one. I am going to pick Dallas. I'm assuming they don't want to be in the play-in situation, so Toronto seems to be an easy clap. The last thing they want to do is lose any game at this point, especially to the Raptors, so I'm going to say the Mavs win that one. Next, for whatever reason, the time is unknown, but Boston at New York on Sunday. I'm picking against my team, of course. The Knicks should beat us on their home court because on Sundays, midnight to midnight, it doesn't matter what time, we just cannot seem to play the game of basketball. Hell, recently, we can't seem to play the basketball on any day of the week. We just lost to the Cleveland Cavaliers the other day, so at this point, I'm expecting us to lose out. So, yeah, Shaq, who've you got?
I got Boston in hopes that the other team has stopped playing because they know where they're at in this season. And for some reason, we're going to show out in hope because they stopped playing.
I see.
Yeah. I mean, hilarious here.
Trying to find one more compelling game. Jeez, Cleveland at Brooklyn. Orlando at Philly.
Right. I would even find it hard to predict Orlando to win now. Philly would have to literally blow out their bench, you know. They have coaching staff out there.
They did the Heat a disservice, sent y'all to Detroit for the last game of the regular season. That's Jesus. Here we go. Denver at Portland. That's a pretty compelling one. Which one do you got there? 9 o'clock Sunday night. I'm gonna take Portland. They have a bit more to lose. Denver seems pretty secure up there at the 4 seats. So
I gotta go Denver because purely for the aspect of picking opposite
right.
and getting these wins in. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick Denver.
Fair enough. I will make note of that since that was tacked on right here. Yeah, Shaq, do you have anything else you want to mention before we get on out of here?
Shout out to the committed folks that listen in all the time. We appreciate you. You're the reason we come back every week to let y'all know our opinions and thoughts and the depression that happens. I'm very much looking forward to this NFL season.
Yes.
You'll see a lot more emotion coming in me and my Steelers because so tell your friends.
Yeah, this is the schedule release is kind of like, I know we say the draft is the last thing before the season starts, but I guess it's really a schedule release because now until the fall, it's kind of like there's really nothing football related. So until I guess training camp, but there's not much to get excited about there. So
training camp.
Right. Yeah, that will do it for this week's show, folks. I want to thank you all for listening, watching, whatever the hell you may be doing. Yeah, I think we will see you all next week. We'll have some playing results. We will also have some predictions for the actual start of the playoffs. And whatever else happens in the sports world between now and then, I'm sure we'll be talking about it on next week's show.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Have a good weekend. We'll see you.
Peace. Be safe.
And the outro's right there. We'll see you.